Well, howdy do all my Planet Zoo friends. Welcome back to part two of Nova Heights entrance building. I hope you enjoyed the first one. Today we're going to build, well, I guess the spawning point, and I think we're going to do some staff buildings, some bathrooms, and a little bit more of the plaza. Yeah, how's your day going? I hope you're having a great time doing whatever you're doing. Um, yeah, and if you're playing Planet Zoo, well, um, I hope I provide nice ambient background noise, which is pretty much how I watch like all my YouTube videos. It's just background noise. So if this is your first video and you didn't see part one, we are building the entrance to our first Sandbox zoo. So we've done the career mode, feeling nice and confident about doing an actual zoo from scratch, and trying to learn the basics. My imagination is not as realistic, and I can't just like think of things. Like it takes me a little while to get going. So um, this is my attempt at getting a lot better at Planet Zoo. And if you are new and you want to get a lot better at Planet Zoo, then you can join me on this little journey. So we're building Nova Heights. We're building the entrance right now. We're using everything from the game. I do have all the DLC packs, so if you are tuning in and you only have a couple, it's totally fine. I just don't know what pieces these are from. I will say that none of these pieces are from the workshop. So just a quick refresh from our last video, our entrance and for Nova Heights is going to be kind of more, I want to say, earthy and flowery. So we're going to just utilize the mess out of as many plants as we can, just to give this a very colorful entrance. I am trying to get better at foliage and kind of making things look more full, and this was my attempt to try like different types of grass and different types of flowers. I did try to do like a little bit of hillage, is that the word? Like little like terrain editing. So this is my attempt. I did find this eelgrass. It's so neat. It's very useful. It looks like real grass. So usually it says that you can use this underwater, but I decided just to use it here. And it definitely makes a lot of grass. Like I put a lot of grass in here. So much grass. Like our maintenance for mowing would probably be a very expensive bill every month. So if you're building a real zoo in real life, maybe a different type of landscaping, maybe, maybe not. You do you. Something I didn't notice when I first built this, um, the entrances, like the entrance gate, are outside of the building, which is kind of humorous because I would think like I would want the entrance to be like the entrance gates to be covered, but yeah, clearly didn't catch that. That's okay. We'll just know better for next time. But yeah, it seems like it's coming along pretty well. I at first I thought like these trees are fine. I'm just gonna chill out here. But I finally did some digging and had looked at a couple of like park entrances, and I feel like my favorite zoos had like these huge, I don't say huge, but had like elaborate or colorful entrances that kind of were very welcoming. And I think that was the idea I was going with here. Um, just to try to like I don't know, give it a good feel, It's colorful, it's fun. Come on, come spend your money and learn about conservation at my park, please. I will say one of my favorite things, and I think I even mentioned it in the last video, but like one of my favorite things after kind of quarantine and the pandemic kind of like let loose a little bit was just going outside and smelling like fresh air and fresh plants. So I feel like um, this would be a park or a zoo that you would like go into and you're like, oh man, this smells so yummy. I'm so excited. Taking, like a nice deep moment when you walk in before you pay for the admission, which is probably a lot. You know, if it's a park that I build, I'm probably going to have to charge a lot. So, one cool trick that I kind of learned over the course of the beginning was building for like foliage and trees and kind of making the the greenery area more dense. Was putting like taking trees and dropping them down into the ground, making them look like bushes. I thought that was so neat. Um, it kind of made me feel excited because it was like the first time that I got to use my imagination and be like, whoa, this is really neat. I'm creating something a little bit different. So it was like an aha moment for me. I was really excited. I'm sure people have been doing this for a long time. Um, it kind of happened on accident for me at first because I just like had clicked something and it was already like halfway underground. And I was like, whoa, that could be a bush. So I do that a lot now and I'm really excited about it. So that's something you can try. Maybe it'll work for you. Um, the whole idea for the bathrooms right here basically came from my hometown. So in my hometown where I grew up, we had a small zoo, and right when you would first walk in, it would be like a gift shop on the left and the bathrooms on the right. And I always just remembered like being in the car and my parents being like, you can go to the bathroom when we get inside. And it was always right there at the front. And I would always want to go to the gift shop, but of course, can't do that just yet. Um, I really liked my like park where I grew up, so it was kind of fun to create something like that. And then also, I really like that staff areas are kind of hidden off, kind of taking a cue from um, like Disney, where they kind of have all of their cast member areas like pushed away into the back, so like you never know. So like while you're there, you're immersed in the Disney experience and not so much the staffing experience. So that's kind of why I put this staffing area a little farther back. Um, as we go like into this zoo later on, I've hidden some of the staff areas, and some of them are just kind of out in the open. I haven't really decided yet. I guess a good mix is fine, but I haven't really decided like what type of um, like I don't say not typography. That's the wrong word for it. What type of look I'm going for? Like, are we trying to make these habitats look like real life, which I'm not good at yet? I guess we'll just kind of find out as we go on. But for this one, I wanted the staff area to look nice. In real life, staff areas are where staff go to relax. And so that was my idea behind that. We'll see how it works out. I think it came out pretty decent, um, but I definitely was excited to do this, but I was starting to get kind of antsy because I wanted to build like some habitats. So, I actually built all of this maybe like a month ago. I wanted to do a video and I recorded it all, but then I kind of got like sidetracked and didn't think I wanted to make a video anymore. So all of this is kind of like a month in the making. The zoo has grown since then, and I can't wait to show you. But at the time of recording this, I believe like the wetlands pack just came out, which I really want to explore. There are so many cool animals in that pack, so maybe I'll do like a side habitat and try that out. I'm definitely feel like I'm getting a lot more advanced now, and I feel like I'm learning a lot of cool tips and tricks as I go on. Some stuff that I'll show you along the way. But if you are trying to learn anything in particular, like reach out because I might have already learned it and I would love to share it with you. And if you have any tips or tricks that you think I would benefit from, let me know because I would love to learn some. Sharing is caring. I was just thinking in terms of like electricity, I'm so spoiled with these little wind I don't know what the right word is for them. Um, it's so funny because now when I go back and play like different career modes, and the only thing I have is like a motor generator or whatever, um, I get so frustrated. I'm like, no, that's not eco-friendly, and it's like the first thing I spend money on in research. It's probably not like the most important part of the research, but I definitely like spend money on it pretty quickly. Just because not only that, but those wind things look so fun to watch. Like they spin, they're so beautiful. I did though. I had a lot of fun making the staff area just because of like the memories it brought back. So I believe when I was like 16, I volunteered at a zoo, and I specifically remember the smell of the kitchen, and it's so funny because I'll like smell stuff like that out in like regular life, and I'll be like, "Oh wow, this reminds me of a zoo kitchen," and people get very confused. They're like, "Oh wow, I didn't know my this stunk." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no! Like zoo kitchens are freaking amazing. Like they smell so good to me. I mean, it's like a mixture of, I mean, yeah, there's like stinky stuff, but like most of it is, I feel like a lot of fruit and a lot of bananas. And it just has like a, because they clean them every night. So it just smells like a clean fruit banana habitat. I don't know. I think it's funny. I don't know. If you've ever volunteered at a zoo or worked at a zoo, what do you think? Do you like the smell of your animal kitchen? Or am I just crazy? It's a good chance I'm just crazy. I do think it would be kind of cool though if like the keepers on this game actually worked like they do at real zoos where they make like a lot of the meals for the day and then do their rounds. I get like the game is on like a speed path where it's like, you know, multiple days in the course of a few minutes, but it would be really cool though if like you could, they already make this so realistic. It would be really cool if um, you even had like shift changes, um, like the keepers work these days, and I mean it would be really cool, especially if you're into like the career mode or the franchise mode of it all, and you really want to kind of shift it up a little bit, and change everything, and maybe like you know, oh, you want Tom to be working in the morning and Catherine to be working at night. Or, you want so and so to have the holidays off. Um, it'd be cool to do stuff like that. Or even to have like where you could upgrade uh, upgrade someone. So like this person is like head keeper, um, and they oversee like this section of the park. Like I know you can do work zones, but it would be really neat to have like a little bit more in the in terms of like the business side of it, especially if that's what you're into is the business side of it. Being able to, I mean, work zones are great, but being able to have like promotions for staff, and I mean, I know that's a lot. I know I'm asking a lot. They're already doing a great job, but I think that would be cool, don't you? I do think it would also be pretty neat to have a different option for where people can walk. So, like right now, it is, you have to have a pathway for someone to get to somewhere. But, like, say you're creating like these bathrooms, like, I would like it to just have to be able to create like an actual inside of the bathroom to make it look nice and not have to put a pathway so that way people could manage to go around it. Same thing for restaurants. It'd be really cool if you could just have like, hey, this is the restaurant floor piece, make it whatever size you want. And then once they exit the path and get on that piece, things work out. I don't know, just ideas. I'm not a game designer, so I do not know how hard that would actually be. I mean, they worked pretty hard to come out with 8 new animals, and I believe it was like 90 to 100 days or something. Seems a little complicated, so um, maybe that's just a little too much for now. I will just stick to pathing. But um, I did decide to keep this like modern theming with the glass and everything, and kind of the greenhouse feel. So you'll see that I did it with the staff area, I'm doing it with the bathroom, and once this finishes, I'll have a clip of what it looks like now, and it is just like loaded with plants. Um, but it was really exciting, because in a moment you'll be able to see like my first actual piece together build where I got to put together pieces to make a fence. I feel like I was very nervous, but it came out really good. So I'm really excited for that. Just to show you that in a second. For now, just kind of still trying to place some things around. Nothing too exciting, but yeah, yeah. One thing I've been learning from different creators, um, is, whenever you see a piece in the game, you naturally just want to use it the way that it is, unless you're like super creative, unlike me. And so I'm starting to kind of play with that a little bit and change things up, which that's really exciting. Really kind of hard for me to think of in the moment, but um, I think I'm going to take my own advice more often in the future, which is just to lay out these pieces beforehand and then just try to get creative. I really want to get better at pathing and doing like hills. I feel like there are no park or, unless you're in like the flattest place in the world, um, no area is just flat. So definitely wouldn't mind learning how to do that and then learning how to use random pieces to make like really beautiful things. I know it's taken a little while, which working with this first park, I mean, I don't expect too much from me at the end, but I do think it came out well, and I do feel like as I've gone on, it's gotten a lot better. So tell me what your favorite little tip or trick or your favorite item that you use for so much. Like what universal item do you use to make like crazy creative stuff? I can see things like the wood, any of the wood pieces, like those would be really well. I do really like the plaster pieces. I feel like those are really convenient, and you can change their color. I do like those. Those would be my personal ones. So much more flower building. These little pieces are kind of cool. The little plants that you can just place down, really useful. I feel like there are so many useful tools in this game. I do love Planet Coaster, um, but having the options for so many great pieces in Planet Zoo, um, I would have to pick Planet Zoo right now as like being my absolute favorite. And Planet Coaster, I've been playing that way longer than Planet Zoo, but Planet Zoo, like they have so many options for foliage and flowers, and um, I think the only thing I miss is that I wish Planet Zoo had the Theme Maker's Toolkit. I feel like so many like amazing creations come out of the Theme Maker's Toolkit, and there are really cool creations in the workshop, but they're kind of all made out of pieces from the game. It'd be really cool to have a Theme Maker's Toolkit, just so people, the really creative ones out there that are just absolutely amazing, can just come up with these like great pieces. I can only imagine the things that they can come up with. I mean, you look at Planet Coaster videos and the stuff that they create is just out of this world. I could only imagine what they could come up with for Planet Zoo. Maybe one day, right? So here's the attempt at making a fence. Tell me what you think. I think it came out pretty well. I think I used a piece of plaster, some steel, a fence, um, metal bars, and square hollow piping. And I mean, it honestly came out pretty well. I will show you in a second. There is an area that I was having issues with, and it was because of a certain setting that I had. So if you are like me and you have turned off some of the settings in the game, kind of like animal welfare and terrain collision and everything, there is one in there called global vertical snapping. And if you have it, oh man, I believe if you have it selected, it limits moving pieces once they've all been connected together. Um, you can only move it like 1 meter up and down at a time. This threw me for a loop. I went to like every Discord channel I could find. I went to YouTube, Reddit, everything, just to try to figure out what was happening because it just kind of happened randomly. And I was really disappointed because I had created these like fences. I was so proud of them and I couldn't get it to work. So if you have that option, select it, I believe. It will, once you group your objects and you press the plus sign to make it one object, you will see in just a second that it will keep things from going up and down freely. and it will start making things go up and down in a like a 1 meter fashion. Right here, press the plus sign, and then try to make it go down, and it's moving in that 1 meter section. I could not figure this out, so there is actually a probably 2 or 3 more habitats that I built where it was stuck like this, and I figured it out. So once I took off that selection, everything got better immediately. Just a word of warning. You may not even click that. You may not even like run into that problem. No one else had. It was just me, which sounds just like my luck. So anyway, so we use this fencing to line our entire plaza, and then we will line almost. I didn't line all the way back to the staff area, just a little bit. Something I intend on getting to later, but we all know how that works out. So, bear with me. I think the fence came out well for being my first fence. I mean, I know it's just a fence, but I had fun with it. That was really fun. What was your if you remember, like, what is your first thing that you ever created in the game that you were just like, whoa, I am, a total master. You feel great for that, like, for a few seconds, as long as you had fun making it, that's all that matters, right? I think one of my favorite things that I learned during this portion was how to deselect things after you copied things. I would always like click and drag and have like all my stuff was selected, and then there was like something in the background that was selected, and I know I would always get so irritated because I didn't know that you could just press Control and deselect. I mean, I know now, and it makes me very happy. But yeah, if you want to deselect something, press Control, hold it, click whatever you need, and then it'll get off your page. Um, I'm glad I learned it, but I definitely didn't know at first. I didn't, and it's a big learning curve from Planet Coaster. There are a lot of similarities, but there's still a lot of differences as well. So I think this video is almost done. The majority of the plaza will be complete, and I think all we're about to do now is add some more flowers, then we're going to put some lights in. I will say, as far as lights, something I would love to see is not having to actually like put the lights down for them to shine. It would be nice if they would be able to put the lights, if they would like shine before you actually clicked, select. I would like to see like what the lights look like before I place it. I know that you can just like undo it, but still, I think that'd be a cool little like thing to try out. Other than that, at this point, I'm super happy and I'm loving this game. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so much fun. I'm gonna put on a few more lights, and there's gonna be a reel right after this that will show you what everything looks like. And be fair warned, I made the second clip after this video, like yesterday, so there may be some stuff in the background that you don't see here. Ignore it. We'll get to that later, but I do hope you enjoy it. So like, comment, subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff, and let me know what you want to see next, or let me know anything about your park that you love. Okay, I would love to hear from you, and there you go.